I like pulling faces, like. Marry. How much? I was going to say something intelligent, but I've run out of trying to feel intelligent. After that test today at school, I was like, "Well, I don't know any of this shit." I just didn't want to answer any of them. I was sort of once I got going, it was hard. I didn't know what. I got down the street. I feel so fucking fat and heavy. I'm just like, oh, I want a new life. I'll get home and it's all right. I hate having a fat gut. Everyone looks at you like, oh, yuck. Believe how many migrants are in town today, or foreigners, or imports, whatever you want to call them. So many now, like taking up the whole city space. Just be nice to see a few more white people around, just to feel more at home, you know, like. Anyway, we are sort of Asia, Oceania, aren't we? Sort of that side, you know. Yeah, I mean that's the northern continent is India, Asia, Middle East. So we're just down here, basically just a sitting duck for all this impouring of all these populations as they're booming, and those poor white folks are still walking around, and all the girls are ignoring us just because we got a fat gut or whatever. I don't know why they ignore us so much. Because you don't have the 6-figure salary, they don't look at you do. All my Barbie girls, wherever they are, probably on the other side of the world now. I don't know. I don't want to go over there. Happy in Australia. Just want my Barbie wherever she is, wherever she looks like. She might be big and fat like me, I don't know. Yeah. See a few nice ones around. Aren't sort of like Barbies, but that's alright. Don't know what to add to my comments about, you know, the way money should be spent, because that's for heaven on earth. I mean, I don't think the government or most people believe in heaven on earth, you know, and all heaven on earth is just a fair world where dreams come true, you know, like this world, no dreams come true. It's all a nightmare. So just got to put up with it. I don't know. They don't want to change it to make it a world where you can live your dreams. Well, it'll just be a decaying sort of horror show, or what do you want to call it? You know, there won't be any lovers. It'll just be people out to fuck and, you know, gang bang and deal drugs and all that sort of shit, you know. Because they're just ashamed to be human. They would all think they're big tough rock stars or some shit, you know. Like, who cares? Yeah, I don't know when I'll be a Superman, maybe another million years. just happy, just, a little heaven on earth, just be myself. Superpower out there doing its work just to create a life for myself to follow. Who'll be there along the way with the way the wheels run, who knows? I'll probably spend a lot of time by myself or just with a few friends, or, won't be the sort of life I deserve. It's a shame because that means a lot of people out there will get hurt, won't make the journey. I did just want the whole world to take the journey. It's, all together, I just wanted these people, these greedy people, to realise they don't have to be that way. There's a better life for them. I'm not trying to get a better life than that. I'm trying to improve life for everyone. So it's fair, and because greedy people get sick and die, like you might say, oh, look, everyone dies at the end of their life. Yeah, that's true, but not everyone makes it back. If you're committing crimes that you can't make up in the afterlife, you can't get back. You have to make up to get back to Earth. So if you've done all these bad things and you can't make up for it in hell to get born again, you're not going to make it, Whereas me, I've made it to heaven on earth, not harming anyone, I may have upset people at times. That doesn't matter. It's just a bit of upset, you make up for that with time. But most of the time, people get upset. It's their own problem. It's just their illness or something in themselves. So it's not much you can do about it. But I've never gone out to hurt anyone. I've just gone along with the crowd, really. So so I came through life blameless, And it is uncomfortable, heaven on earth, when you're single, because you get a lot of bullshit artists fucking you around because you don't have your woman backing you up. Women are just as big a presence as men. It's just they do things differently, They talk a lot about stuff with their friends and sort issues out. So you end up bullshitted around by these people. You end up trying to fend them off, and, you don't know what else to do, so you end up in problems with that, it's just life. It just snowballs problems when you're on your own too long, single, trying to find someone. You can't find anyone because the way the world's run, is not being fair with paying for money. I mean, the way the system is, they get money anyway. All these rich people get all these perks and they probably get all this money, but we miss out because they just feed us the crumbs, So they're getting this system, the rich ones, so they don't give a shit about us. They're getting all the perks and the tax breaks and all this other stuff, and they probably get, 10 grand extra each week for themselves, and or more, 50 grand or whatever in their bank account, cars, everything laid on. What do we get? Nothing. We're just scrounging around just to survive. I got $2 in my account tonight till tomorrow. I just made it through today, like, what breaks do we get? Just because we've had, our parents didn't have the best life because my dad had to go off to war. He was a prisoner in war, and my mum's mum died to the hands of the doctors when mum was 4. So they both had broken lives. So there's nothing we've done wrong. It's just other people have done stuff to our family. So dad suffered. That caused me to be vulnerable. I got caught up with my friends with the drugs, and they don't keep the drugs out of Australia. They should just lock it all down and fucking execute the bastards. But we'll let all these assholes bring drugs in, and they set up rave parties, and they actually have ambulances at the rave parties. So just shut down the rave parties. That's what they're designed for, is to fuck you up with drugs. Why do they let them run, It's because all the bouncers and security are the drug dealers that run them. You know, they look at you funny like, oh, here's another one, you know, as you walk in. Anyway, all history now, isn't it? Just affects the rest of your life. It's not really affecting my life, but it's just affecting my relationship with my girl wherever she is. You know, don't know where she is, what she's doing, who she is. I was sitting in class thinking, why am I doing electronics? Well, what's that going to lead to? You know, I can't even barely do the maths. Do I want to sit around poking at computers the rest of my life? There's irony there that's just burning away, the irony that these things keep me from my wife, and yet they occupy all my time, you know, to take the place, you know, take the place, to take all your time up. You know, you're staring into the eye of a mobile phone, this robot sort of device. You should be staring into the eyes of your girlfriend and your love. It's pretty sick, you know, what they do, these people making all this shit. They say, oh, you're ungrateful. It's like, yeah, but it's not being ungrateful. It's just not getting what you want out of life. It's too much to ask, isn't it? Because we have it too good, don't we? All that work through the centuries, you know, comes to this and it's all a failure. All that build up, you know. Where's it going to end up? That's the thing. Be Superman orphaned on a planet somewhere, surrounded by strangers, not fitting in, awkward. Oh, I can fly though. I can carry planes for them, work for them. You know, all my energy into looking after them all, and what do I get out of it? I don't know. I just feel like forgetting about all that. Really, doing something different. Just started when I wrote that movie script. You know, before that I never thought about it. And then I'd lying in bed, starting thinking, oh, maybe I got a superpower. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's something there. Why I write this stuff. Why this happened to me. Oh, I took a Superman trip. Oh, okay. Another thing. Just other things, you know. Sort of being orphaned from your parents, from the whole experience. It's almost like being orphaned or something. Sort of my whole world was like exploded in one night, you know. I suppose it's like Krypton exploding. I got reborn, sort of shuffled back to my mum in a different way, sort of like meeting my mum for the first time again. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. Oh, it's meant to be. It's in the movies, you know. I think I was just meant to have a quiet little life in the country with my wife and kids, taken to school, and maybe work at a. I don't know. I could never figure out my working life. I didn't know what to do. I never knew what I was supposed to be doing. I felt too princely, like too regal to do shit jobs. And the hard jobs, I didn't quite know how to do them. So I always felt like everything I was trying to do was beneath me, and I sort of wasn't quite skilled enough to do all the stuff that was challenging. So I've never sort of succeeded anywhere. I always felt like I should have had a rich family that just looked after me, and I just sort of ran the family or the company or the whatever we were, you know, like. So it felt like, well, I should have had some kind of trust fund or something where I could just dip in, and it almost feels like fate that I ended up with a payment from the government to look after me, because I really don't know how to live day to day earning a weekly wage to survive on. I've never experienced that, having to live on my own feet, my own means. But I think I could do it, but I just don't really know how to get to that point. Because what happens if you lose your job and you can't get another job and you can't pay your rent? Then you're stuck out on the street. I don't understand that mentality. Why can't the government share a bit of money with us that we're entitled to just protect us? And if something happens, we can just pay our rent for a while and afford a few loans and bills, and just to keep us safe, because our money should all be being invested in the space age at the moment, but it's not. No one is. Everything they're doing is failing. We're getting caught up just sitting around computers and phones, entertaining our brains, and we're getting really badly behind in developing the space age. And just information is getting stolen. That'll all have to go back where it come from, because it's stolen. So all their future plans will fail because they're stealing everything. This AI will fail. They're stealing it. They're stealing the information to build it. It'll all fail. You can't do that. You got to be honest. There's elements in the world that are very small that not control. What's the word I'm thinking of? Rule the world. There's small elements rule the world. We don't really rule the world, humans. We're vulnerable. We're like little babies that just get born into it and have to survive. Humans don't really rule the world. It's almost like these little fairies rule the world. They're tiny little fairies that just sort of make all the decisions. And if we're not good to them, they'll notice. They'll notice we're doing the wrong thing, and they're the ones that do it, that cause judgment from karma and stuff like that. You might think you're safe, that you're just free in the air, but no, we're connected to the world. And people say, oh, nothing happens to me, I'll be alright. I can do what I like, I can do anything, I don't take any notice that all that stuff, rules and stuff. And then they'll have an accident and lose their limbs and end up quadriplegic, it's... Look at Christopher Reeve, probably went around saying, I'm Superman, I'm boasting, look what happened to him, They say you can get away with stuff, but eventually karma gets you. I read the Bible. I sat there reading the Bible when I was at my dad's, when I was at uni, back when I was just out of school. And I sat there reading it, getting kind of horny, getting turned on by the Bible. I don't know, just something about it just made me horny. Anyway, I sat there thinking, when I read this, I'll get to the end of this and something will happen to me. I'll transform or something. I felt like something was going to happen to me, like I was going to read it and some force was going to change me. And that's karma. I shouldn't have believed that. It's sort of, not sorcery, but it's sort of unnatural, to think that. But that's what the Bible did to me. That's the Bible's fault. The Bible should have been abolished back in 1200s, I think it's the Crusades or something. When the world knew about the Bible, they should have got rid of it. No, they kept hanging on to it, and crucifying Jesus more and more and more and more. Can't let his spirit rest. But what I was saying was, can't remember now. Sort of sick of all that talk. Oh, yeah. So what I'm saying is, I went to that rave a few weeks later and went through a transformation, to say, look, you shouldn't think that. This is what's happened. And whether it was my friend's fault doing it to me or whether it's just my stupid fault for going along with it, because I didn't really want to go. I kept saying, no, I don't want to go. And they sort of talked me into it, sort of blackmailed me. So I didn't have a choice. They said, oh, you have to drive us. We don't got no one to drive us. And so, yeah, it was probably all just dumb luck, really, A lot of things happen to people when they're young. You don't always get through unscathed. Some people come out scarred. Some girls get gang raped. Can't trust anyone, again for years. Some guys get bashed. Whatever. Accidents, car accidents. Some people lose their nerves in their hands. Some people lose the function of their bodies. Whatever. I don't know. I got through and basically my whole world I knew was shattered. It was just, I didn't have the world that I knew anymore. Whether it was my ego or something bigger than that, my spirit, my connection to everything was all altered and shattered, and I had to go back and try and reconnect it all. It didn't really work. I just sort of came out different, and all the good people of the world took me under their wing, and I ended up going through that and just sailed on to heaven. My spirit went to heaven. I'll never be a bad person not that I ever was, but I'll never have that chance to be a bad person again. I never took that chance, and I didn't want to take it. I wanted to be a good person and just live a good life, and I never hurt anyone, and probably the worst thing I'll ever do is probably be like one of my dreams, just playing a computer game. I don't even know if it's my dream or someone else's, but these are dreams people share, so we take them on. We watch them and they get ingrained into our psyche. I like the idea of being that Ken Street Fighter character and beating up all these people, and they're just, organised bouts. You don't go around bashing bloody innocent people. They're organised bouts with other competitors. But I like the idea of being a kung fu or a street fighter, or having all these power abilities and, throwing fire. And you might think that's bad, but I just like that idea. Maybe I played the computer game too long. Anyway, what am I talking about? I don't know. Have a good night from Ken, Street Fighter.